speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Jerks on the right. Here we are. It's Friday. Hello, everybody. I've already had a morning, okay? I've already been on an ATV chasing dogs in the pasture. It's been a morning, you guys. That's why I'm windblown. It's crazy. We're awake. We're so awake. Coming up on the show, Elon parallel parks another rocket. It's no big deal. What's the big deal?
Fine. This is not a big deal.
What, you can't do that? Come on.
What, like it's hard?
What, like it's hard? That's a big deal. Biden's last interview. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. And more hearing hullabaloo. All that and so much more. It was very pregnant. It was awkwardly pregnant, wasn't it? It was awkward. You guys can check us out on all the places. chicksontheright.com/links.
Links.
Also, please subscribe to this podcast. How many times do I have to ask you? I'm like a nagging wife. Okay. Take out the trash and subscribe to this podcast. Click the subscribe button. Please do it. We implore you.
We beseech you.
Hi. Happy Friday, everybody. Hello.
I know everybody's wondering, so I'm just going to say it. Yes, I am going to see the Robin Williams movie tomorrow.
Everybody was waiting with bated breath.
Everybody was dying to know.
All wondering. She's going to go see the Weird Monkey movie. Nobody cares.
But
Nobody
listen,
cares.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Tell us.
I am going to watch it with non-Robbie Williams loving eyes.
There's no way. There's no way on God's green earth that you can do that. You cannot be
I can
objective.
do it. I'm going to tell myself this is a stranger. I'm going to pretend it's a stranger.
Okay.
What would I think of this movie if I had no idea all the things I know about him?
All
you know
right.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I will give you my honest review on Monday. Because I know everybody's dying to hear my honest review.
She can't do that, you guys. She can't.
I can try. I'm going to try. I'm going to really, really try.
All right.
Okay. I told Daisy, I'm telling you, this show is going to be all over the place because there was just a lot of random things that happened and a lot of things that don't have anything to do with each other. So it could feel like a very disjointed show. And I'm warning you now that that's just how it's.
And then today would be Inauguration Day, Eve. Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting close. It is getting close. So, and we're going to talk about some inauguration stuff later in the show. That is going to be one of the things that we talk about. We're going to talk about the fires. We're going to talk about all kinds of things, the hearings yesterday. And speaking of fires, there's a whole brand new one that just started a couple hours ago at a battery plant, a lithium battery plant. It happens to be the largest lithium battery plant in the world, apparently. So that's not great. They evacuated, and now there's all kinds of hazardous toxins that are in the air. And so people are being warned to like stay inside, seal your doors and windows, use tape or damp towels to cover any gaps. Like this stuff in the air is bad for you. So it's not, and this is out like in Monterey or just outside of Monterey. Okay. So this is, I mean, I hate to use this phrase, but it's fuel for the fires. It's already so bad, and like things are now exponentially worse because of this. So that's happening. Just wanted to let everybody know about that. Okay. But there is good stuff too to talk about today. Like, for example, this headline about the FBI completely doing away with its diversity office all of a sudden. So as Benny Johnson said, the world is healing. Trump isn't even in office yet. However, Trump immediately tweeted about this saying, keep all your records. Don't be thinking that you can just throw away records and think that you're not going to get caught, and we're going to figure out like what was going on with this diversity office. So he's like, retain your records because we're looking into this. This seems very, very sus that it's happening just right before my inauguration. So he thinks it's all very bad.
Yeah. Same with all the people that are like, I think I'm going to resign now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like also very sus. Yeah.
There is some sus stuff going on.
Great.
But speaking of more good news, remember how Meta, I guess I should say, decided we're not going to have fact checkers anymore? Well, that is also a decision that Google has made.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So now they're saying they're not going to implement fact checks in their search results or on YouTube videos, which is kind of amazing. So this is good. This is the Trump effect in action.
I love defying EU regulations. I love it. Defy it all. Defy it.
Defy. And I think, that's interesting about the EU regulations part. I think that's because Google and like Meta, like other American companies, they know that when it comes to free speech, the Trump presidency will have their back. And when it comes to defying EU regulations, they didn't have that with Biden.
Nope. So not at all. In fact, they had the opposite. I think that they were completely antagonized by Biden. Yep. As much as I don't like Gleeborg 9, Mark Zuckerberg, he did say that he basically was antagonized by him. Now, I mean, you can say, wah, wah, wah. You could have fought back. You could have actually had some balls and fought back, dude, which this is how I do feel that way. But he didn't, he didn't. It is what it is. But at least, he's kind of a wuss. But now I feel like he does feel like he has the back of this presidency. And so he can be like, okay, well, we can have free speech now.
Right.
Go figure.
No censorship. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I guess better late than never, right?
Yeah.
So also, you may know that I am wearing my XXXY. What is this called? What is this called? Why am I?
It's like a velour. It's like a velour, like zip. It's like I don't know.
Why are we having so much trouble with our words? Do I need to do this? Like, what's happening?
I have got some stuff too. I got the cutest shirt. I don't have it on today, but I got the cutest shirt from them. You guys, look at this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love that color.
So cute. I know. I got two. I got one that's cropped and one that's a little longer. And then we got really, really same color, really cute hoodies, and then joggers. The pink. My daughter's obsessed with. Everything is pink. Her whole room everything is pink, 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 pink. She was so excited about the pink. They have some really cute stuff, you guys.
They do. And even though, we've obviously made some strides from a policy standpoint about getting men out of women's sports, keep in mind that XXXY Athletics is they're the only company that has been really fighting and standing up for women's sports. And so that's why we like giving them our business, because why wouldn't you support the one company that stood up for women's sports? And the fight is not over. Even though there are policy changes, apparently the Boston Marathon, which is happening in April, is allowing a man to run in the women's category.
So stupid.
So they can win in the men's category, they can win in the non-binary category, and they can win in the women's category. So it's still a fight that needs to be had. And I just appreciate XXXY Athletics for standing up for women's sports. And you should too, especially because their stuff is so cute.
It is really cute.
You can visit xx-xyathletics.com. When you use code CHICKS20, you're going to get 20% off your first purchase. Again, it's a tough website, I know. xx-xyathletics.com, code CHICKS20. Check them out. All right, moving on to other headlines. We also need to mention, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and that's that Red Note, the new, well, it's not new, but it's a Chinese social media app that is apparently going to replace TikTok for a lot of people. Swarms of people are signing up for it. And Kyle Mann from the Babylon Bee, I love what he said about it. Zoomers rushing to download a Chinese state media app called the Little Red Book, which is the literal translation, to show that they're not going to fall for state propaganda is something that even we at the Babylon Bee could not have come up with.
It's so true, right?
What are people doing?
Well, they're being stupid is what they're doing.
And it does seem to be a very left-wing move at this point. And so one of the people that joined was none other than Taylor Lorenz. So she said, follow me on Red Note, the hottest new social app in America.
How about no? How about I'm not going to do that? I'm just so ambivalent about, I don't care about TikTok. I don't care about this. It's so hard. Yeah. It's tough for me to even muster like the strength to even talk about this stuff because I don't care.
Well, they're in for a rude awakening because there is going to be plenty of censorship on that app, as somebody from China pointed out. Yin Soon said, sorry, TikTok refugees, but our platforms implement strict content moderation policies that are aimed at fighting disinformation. What you should know before coming to our platform is that Taiwan is not a country.
God.
Tibet is already free. COVID did not come from China. There's no Uyghur concentration camps. There was no massacre in Tiananmen, and Mao didn't starve 45 million Chinese. So that's the app that all these are
There you
flocking
go.
to.
Freedom. Woo! Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that absolutely cracked me up.
And then like a lot of people that are doing that, they're just like, wait, what's a Uyghur?
Right.
What's that?
Exactly. Well, I guess since they are leftists, they're probably going to fall right in line, right? Like they're not going to mind these restrictions.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And Democrats disappointed once again. The House did pass a bill to declare that illegal aliens who commit sex crimes or domestic violence are not admissible and are deportable. And 145 Democrats had a problem with that and voted against it.
They hate you. Democrats hate you. Just FYI, they do. This is proof.
Disgusting.
How do they defend this crap? How?
Yeah.
It's never America first. Never America first with these people, and they are okay with it. I just don't. It is indefensible. You cannot.
It is. You can't. That's exactly right. And so much when you hear from leftists on social media, so much, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, so much of what they say, so much of what they accuse Republicans of is projection, right? They are constantly projecting their own sins onto others. And the perfect example happened yesterday when a very famous Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist from the Washington Post, Darren Bell, was arrested for possession of child porn, even though this is the same cat who is responsible for cartoons, you know, like this, where he accuses Donald Trump of being a sex pervert.
Oh, yeah.
And then he also went hard in the past against people who had a problem with grooming kids. He was always saying, you know, this is another cartoon of him just like kind of mocking the idea of people having a concern about kids getting groomed. He made fun of that. And now he's been arrested for child porn. Raise your hand if you're surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Raise your hand if you're surprised.
They're just always projecting.
Exactly.
Always.
It is. I know. It's classic, right? It's textbook.
Also, Democrat staffers on the Hill are demanding a 32-hour work week. The liberal staffers on Capitol Hill. They work too hard, you guys. They need more days off.
Who put him up to this? Dan Crenshaw? He did this, didn't he?
I mean,
they probably want to raise too. They want to raise, and they want a 32-hour. Oh, it's so hard. We just want to work 4 days a week. We need 3-day weekends every single week. Shut up.
I honestly hope that the Democrat, senators, Congress people are like, yes, you can have the 30, because it's just going to create more work for them. You know what I mean? Republicans are going to be working like normal. They're going to have their staff working like normal. And if libs don't have their support from their staff, whatever, maybe they'll get less done. Less damage.
Remember we talked last week about how much these people get paid though, like how much like the congressmen get for their staff. They get, what is it, like $900,000 a year for a staff?
It's insane.
Around that. I mean, I'm ballparking it. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was around 900,000. Then they get like another 200,000 for just like office expenses. I hate these people. I do.
You hate them enough, though.
And then they get like a ridiculous salary. So their staff, I mean, God only knows. I don't know how many people are on their staff, but they're lazy. All of these people, it's the laziness and the entitlement is a cancer. It's just a cancer in that whole area. And they all think that we deserve more. You don't. We pay for all of this. You don't deserve more. You don't.
Moving on, there is some interesting news out of Florida, and that is that Byron Donald has told several people that he is going to be running for governor in 2026.
Okay, I like this.
I don't mind this at all.
I think this is great. Good for him.
Don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Another interesting staffing decision has been made, and that is that Donald Trump has decided that the director of Secret Service is going to be Sean Curran, who is the guy pictured with the glasses in that iconic photo of the day that Trump got shot. So his Secret Service detail. But now he's going to be directing the entire agency, the entire Secret Service agency. This is according to several sources. And so this is an interesting choice because obviously Trump trusts him, which is great.
Right.
But there were significant failures on that day. So like I don't know. Maybe he's the perfect choice, but it is an interesting choice nonetheless.
Yeah. I hope I am just worried about Monday. That's all I'm worried about right now. I just want to get past Monday and then we'll see how things go.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause this is some scary, scary times right now,
Yep.
you guys. And another appointment news, Donald Trump also tapped Mel Gibson, John Voight, and Sylvester Stallone to be special ambassadors to Hollywood. And I don't know what that means exactly, because this is sort of a new thing, ambassadors to Hollywood. But I did love Mel Gibson's response to it, since he just lost his house. He said, "I heed the call. My duty as a citizen is to give any help and insight I can. Any chance the position comes with ambassador's residence?"
That's super cute. That's really cute. I mean, I think it's fine. Because we've always talked about how culture should be intertwined or is intertwined with politics. I think that Trump recognizes that more than any other Republican candidate or president in our history. He recognizes that the intertwinification between the two. And it's pop culture. His son really recognized it with the whole, not tweeting, but the TikTok thing. And so he gets it. He is part of pop culture. Trump is, a huge figure in pop culture. So he understands this. He understands that Hollywood, he just gets it. And so I don't really know what their job description will be. I just think that he will probably be talking to these men about how, they can help from a Hollywood perspective and, just, I guess, heeding the call and trying to connect the two, because as much as we hate Hollywood, which we do, I hate it, but I mean, those people, they play a role in getting people elected. Absolutely. They play a role in influencing people. It is what it is. We've talked about that for 15 years. And
then the reason for my name today is another staffing news report. And that is that Governor DeSantis has decided that Ashley Moody will be his pick to replace Marco Rubio. And so there's a little clip of her talking, him making the announcement and stepping back. And then she is at the podium to talk about how he told her she's probably not going to like DC, but she is also heeding the call. And so here is what she said in their official little presser about it.
If every person with the same energy, the same love, the respect for our founding principles, the ideals on which this country was built on, if every person like that with that personality said, "I don't think I'd like serving in Congress," then we'd never change that culture. And so you're probably right. I probably won't like it. But I'm ready to show up and fight for this nation and fight for President Trump to deliver the American First agenda on day one.
We've got so many great women on our side. These are women with bite, not just bark, and they've got Mazie Hirono. Compare and contrast, you guys.
Oh my God. Seriously, the dumbest person in Congress, I think. There's so many choices, but I think she might be the dumbest.
And Kirsten Gillibrand, they have those women. We've got women like that. It's just, and then people will say Trump is a misogynist, and then Republican men are misogynists. Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, there's potentially already drama though with this choice, and that is that Corey Mills is saying that he's considering primarying, being in a primary against her. And so I don't know why well, I guess I do know why. He's saying that Moody endorsed against Trump in 2024 because she backed DeSantis in the primary. So he's saying, we're going to eyeball the seat. We're going to look at how she does, how she votes, how she supports the agenda. I'll talk to the president about it, see what he thinks. We're going to keep an eye on the seat and we'll make a decision when the time is right.
Okay,
so
just can we not? Can we just not?
I know, right?
It's drama we don't need, you know?
I don't know why we always do this to ourselves.
I know. Again, it's the whole stepping on your own. You know what?
Yeah, I
Can
guess
we
that's
just
what it
not?
is.
I just feel it's stupid.
Also, you might have seen, because this was definitely floating around socials like crazy yesterday, video and also photographs of a disabled person who had a mastectomy. And there were lots of accounts posting about this person saying, you know, this is a crazy it's crazy agenda, part of the trans agenda, that the parents of this person were disgusting for allowing this to happen. But there's more information coming out about this. And so we wanted to share these photos from Andy No, specifically talking about this situation, because on the face, it does look absolutely horrifying, right? Like this person who cannot control, like they look a lot like Thomas in terms of the physicality.
Right.
So this woman is Mara Leroy, a 19-year-old who has recently changed her name to Micah Leroy and has had her breasts removed. She does have parents that are extraordinarily woke, who are very enabling. And that was the initial problem, that people were talking about how disgusting it is that these parents would subject this person who clearly could not make the decision on her own to remove her own breasts. But it turns out, because I read about this on the Daily Mail today, this is a woman who actually does have her mental faculty. She's in college. She gets straight A's. She communicates with writing. She's able to speak for herself. And she is the one that made this decision. And in fact, was quoted as saying she wanted to go viral. So I don't know how incapacitated she really is. So if you're seeing posts that suggest she was unable to make this decision, she actually was able to make it. And
well, I mean, I
happy to make it.
She may not be incapacitated, but I still think she was influenced by
for sure,
by really
without
shitty
question.
Parents.
Yes,
and it's just like any other kid that goes through this. I mean, she's 19, but I still think it's child abuse. I'll still have my opinion, and that's my opinion. So I still think it's terrible what they did.
Oh my God, it's vile.
It's
terrible
absolutely vile what they did to this kid. And the doctors that did it, shame on you, man. Like, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with these people?
So gross. So gross.
Mm-hmm.
Totally switching gears, but here's some exciting news. Steak and Shake has decided that they're going to use 100% beef tallow in their restaurants. That means if you want good fries,
you guys, there's the skinny fries.
Oh, they're going to be so good.
Oh my gosh. I love their fries, you guys. This is such great news. McDonald's, you go next.
I know. Step it up, McDonald's. You got to do this because it's going to be freaking amazing.
The only thing I like at McDonald's is their fries. Come on with the beef tallow. Let's do it.
Also, if you are interested in taking control of your health to the extent that you can, consider using AllFamilyPharma.com/chicks for your medications. By the way, the medications, you can get ivermectin there. You can get medications that are actually manufactured here in the United States, which is great. They have helped over 50,000 patients across the country battle COVID, parasites, even cancer. They've got cancer supporting drugs. And they make it so easy. There's no red tape and hassle. There's no having to go to an urgent care clinic when you have come down with an affliction that you know would be taken care of so easily with the drugs that All Family Pharma has. They also can get you your antibiotics. So like, for example, if you come down with a UTI, you don't want to have to deal with going to to a clinic for that and sitting around a bunch of sick people. You don't want to deal with that. You can get your drugs so much easier at allfamilypharma.com/chicks. When you use code CHICKS10, you will get 10% off of your entire order. Again, it's allfamilypharma.com/chicks. Code CHICKS10. Okay. Biden had his last interview, we hope, at least in office, with Lawrence O'Donnell. And it was there were some disastrous moments, like when he called North Koreans Chinese people. There were some moments that were not great. Okay. But we're not going to play a lot of them because who cares at this point what he is saying? You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. And he looked like the old man from Up, which is mean to the old man from Up.
It is mean.
It is mean. I know, because we all love the old man from Up. But he's just, gosh, you look at like videos from him when he debated Trump the first time.
Oh my God, night and day.
It's night and day from how he looks now. Listen, I know we all age. I get it. But I'm not running the country. You know what I mean?
Right. Or trying to. Or
exactly.
saying that you could still.
Or saying, I'm really concerned about an oligarchy and democracy. Shut up, dude. Like, you just gave the Medal of Freedom to George Soros and Hillary Clinton.
It's just so ridiculous.
Go away now. Yeah.
But he is so concerned. That was one of his key messages in the interview last night as well.
I really am concerned.
Oh, gosh.
About how fragile democracy is. That sounds corny, but I mean, I really am concerned because you've heard me say it 100 times. I really think we're at an inflection point in history here. Things are going to change drastically.
That's weird that he's concerned about it, though, because he has had some semblance of a position of power for the past half a century. So you'd think that he would have gotten something done and that our democracy would be fine. Because if he actually had done his job, right? So you suck. So basically, he's admitting that he sucks at his job. He didn't do his job. He's been in power like longer than anybody. And he's like, I'm really concerned about the state of the country. Well, then you suck at your job, dude. It's unreal.
Well, and then, you know, when he doesn't make sense, it's just so off-putting. He talked about, like, he continued on that vein and was talking about, you know, abuses of power. And he put the abuse of power in context of his stutter. And I don't know how that makes any sense, but here is how he said it.
I didn't think about it this way, but I got involved in public life because of the abuse of power.
Oh my God.
I mean, my dad would say, you know, the greatest sin of all is the abuse of power. And I was raised in a circumstance where, like I used to always talk about how the worst thing ever happened to me was I used to stutter when I was a kid. And you really get made fun of when you talk like that. And
you know what a stutter is.
But I realized maybe it was the greatest gift I ever got.
I'm sorry, but what was that line of thinking even about?
If I hear about Scranton one more time, I can't. Enough. Okay.
And he just lies. He continues to gaslight and lie. Like when he talked about how the federal government has apparently given more money to red states because they are mismanaged. I cannot even believe that he said this out loud. This is just such a complete opposite of the truth. But here's what he said.
Lawrence, I got a lot of criticism, understandably. We've invested more in red states than blue states.
That's in this book. That's in this report.
Well, for two reasons. One, red states really screwed up in terms of the way they handle their economy and the way they handle manufacturing, the way they handle access to supply chains.
Right. I mean, as evidenced by Florida and California. Compare.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
God.
Don't pay attention to what you see. Don't pay attention to actually at your reality that you're looking at. Just pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Out of my old,
which has been the Democrats' whole. That's how they roll, right? They're like, don't pay attention to what actual prices are, how much you're hurting, how much groceries are. Just listen to what we tell you. This is their playbook. This is why they lost.
It's exactly what, and he just keeps doing it.
Over and over and over again. So these last two clips are super short. I'm just going to let them run together. One where he just says this weird thing about Ukraine, and then one where he's talking about not signing the stimulus checks like Trump did because he's not a huckster. And so just going to put these together because this is basically a snapshot of how the interview went.
I didn't think, by the way, I didn't think it was, I've got to go to Ukraine. That's different than me writing a check and me signing a check and saying, I did it. I'm not a very good huckster.
Yeah, you're not a very good huckster at all. I'm not going to pardon my son. Okay, whatever, dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're not.
But
you
the interview, not the interview the other night, but the speech he made the other night, Joy Behar was practically in tears over it. And here is what she said on The View immediately after.
Him. He's a good person. You know, he spent the last 50 years caring about the country. This other one spent 50 years scamming everybody, you know, and trying to stay out of jail. You know who I'm talking about. You know, I really miss Biden. I feel like we were safe. Like, I didn't have to worry. Was everything going to blow up? Well, I could live my life while he was there. Now, every day I wake up and I worry, what is this guy going to do next?
Okay.
Oh,
right.
my God.
They can't see, right? And this is what's wrong with liberals, is that she thinks that Trump is taking money from her. She thinks that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all those, you know, people who are billionaires, because she's really pissed off at the billionaires, right? Any billionaire that may just have an inclination of having an R after their name, she hates them. And she hates them for being self-made. Anybody who's self-made, they hate. But the people who suck money off of the American taxpayer, they love that. And I don't get that. How can they not see it? It's like, it's common sense. They are literally taking advantage of you. Like the people who get into office, like the Obamas, perfect example. The Obamas who get into office and then become exponentially more wealthy.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because of you, Joy, because of the American taxpayer. They didn't build anything. They didn't innovate anything. They didn't do anything. They are not self-made. They are made off the backs of the American taxpayer. And she applauds that. She's okay with that kind of wealth. But somebody who does it on their own, she's like, like an Elon Musk, she thinks that's a terrible thing. Because she literally said in that clip, I don't know if we have that. Do you have the rest of the clip? Did you have it? She said in that clip that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all them, they could solve world hunger by giving $40 billion to people that are hungry, and they don't do it. And she's pissed off about it. She's like, they're terrible people because they don't use their money the way that I want them to use their money. And so they don't get it. They don't get any of it. They live in a different universe than we do.
Well, clearly, because the fact that she was saying under Biden, she was able to just live her life and not have to worry. I mean, it is so far removed from what normal Americans have gone through over the past 4 years,
Right.
not just with their personal pocketbooks, but watching the rest of the world explode in so many different ways because of weakness on Biden's part. And she's just like, la, 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 but things are fine for me. I'm a rich celebrity. So why?
Right.
I mean, I've been fine under Biden. It's
Exactly.
so freaking tone deaf. Oh my God.
Yeah. And what's the amount, you know? Because like her BFF Sonny lives in a 10-bedroom, 10-bath house. And her husband has allegedly scammed a bunch of people out of money. So like, is there a certain amount where you're supposed to like give half of your money or 70% or 80% of your income to the homeless and to needy people? Because why is she exempt? But like Elon Musk has to give all of his money to people. To the causes that she deems appropriate.
Right.
That's what these people are whack.
Speaking of people being whack, Kamala, I guess she was like saying goodbyes, like she was giving goodbyes to her staff, and she was giving them like this pep talk at the end, and it was so cringe. Couple clips, but I'm just gonna shove them together because it was just cringe. You guys watch.
Is not done, and as you all know me, because we have spent long hours, long days, and months and years together, it is not my nature to go quietly into the night. So don't worry about that. I am fully aware that I am the public face of a lot of our work, and so I have the benefit of running into people all over our country who thank me.
Oh my God.
And I will tell you,
Doug.
I am fully aware that when they are thanking me, they are thanking our team for the extraordinary commitment that you each have and as a team have to lifting up the American people, lifting up their condition, lifting up their hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
And understanding through it all the nobility of public service.
Her team
My
hates
God.
her. You know, her team just cannot stand
how many
her.
people quit under her?
So many. It was like a revolving door.
Yeah.
I was just like, God, I can't stand her. I'm so glad to move on. And Doug, did you see Doug's face? He was like, just hate.
I guess he's got to go back to lawyering now.
I guess so. He's off.
Can you
it.
imagine having him as your lawyer?
Yeah. He'd be trying
No,
to
thank
like
you.
paw at people the whole time.
Okay, so if you remember when Elon parallel parked a rocket and it was just a freaking unbelievable, miraculous thing that took place, that to me seemed like a once in a lifetime thing, but he just did it again, you guys. And we've got a couple different angles because this is so extraordinary. No other country is doing this. Okay. No other country can do this. And this is amazing. And so it happened again yesterday. And here is one angle. We'll see a second one from an audience, from somebody that was like actually watching from far away and getting video of it and just marveling at it. But here it is from like home base or whatever you call it. What do you call it? Like the people that are actually in the tower, the center, like.
We'll just call it home base. That sounds
home
good.
base, because I don't know. Mission control.
Booster now hovering as it aligns with the tower for catch.
Booster coming in. Get ready for that boom, Kate.
Down to 3 engines.
Ooh.
Right.
Booster ready for trip out. Meghan has caught the booster.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here's another angle.
Standing by
Unbelievable.
Attempting to catch the booster at the tower.
Oh my God! Let's go!
And then it hovers and then moves over. Like, how does it do that?
I don't know. That's engineering right there. I don't get it. My brain can't comprehend.
Just amazing.
Freaking amazing is what it is. It's just so cool. I'm so glad there are people that can do that in this world.
Right?
I can't. Can you do that, Joy Behar? Can you do that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I can't. And so I give props where props are due because that is brilliance. Absolute,
it's incredible.
Innovative brilliance. And I am so grateful to God that there are people that can do that kind of stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. The human brain is amazing.
It is incredible. And his in particular.
Yes.
There was a downside, and that is that the actual spaceship doing the test did explode. So, but they're looking at it like this is just one more way that they learn.
He had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh, totally. And so here is the moment that you can see the explosion. It starts out when you're looking at your screen, just a tiny little light. And then you'll see it explode. And then you'll see what it looked like after all the pieces were sort of coming apart and starting to fall to the ground. I guess it fell like somewhere over Turks and Caicos. And then you'll see video from people on the ground in Turks and Caicos going, what the hell is that? And also it's kind of beautiful, which is, I know it's kind of weird to say that about an explosion, but it is. So that's the order in which you're going to see things right here. There's the tiny dot in the sky, and then you're going to see it explode. And boom, there it goes.
Fireworks.
It's crazy. And then all the pieces are like coming apart. That's what it looks like when they start coming apart and like raining down.
Yeah.
But then this next video is my favorite because it's extraordinary. It looks like the best fireworks show ever.
It's amazing.
Good, it's about to fall on top of us.
It's just amazing.
What is this?
What? I mean, I'd be like, what the hell is that too? I would be like, what? Because you don't see stuff like this every day.
If it was here in like McGregor, Texas, we'd all know what it is.
That's true.
We'd be like, yeah, we know what it is.
That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's wild, man.
That is
But then
wild.
the official SpaceX account, because of course people were like, "Oh my God, it exploded! That's not good. That's terrible."
Yeah.
And instead of actually calling it an explosion, they got made fun of so much because here is how they described it. They said, "Starship experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly." During its ascent burn, teams will continue to review data from today's flight test to better understand root cause. With a test like this, success comes from what we learn, and today's flight will help us improve Starship's reliability. And then Elon Musk himself also wanted to follow up and explain what happened. So he said, preliminary indication is that we had an oxygen fuel leak in the cavity above the ship engine firewall that was large enough to build pressure in excess of the vent capacity. Apart from obviously double checking for leaks, we'll add fire suppression to that volume and probably increase vent area. Nothing so far suggests pushing the next launch past next month. So they're like on schedule, on track. They're going to keep testing. They're not slowing down. And I just cannot believe his brain.
I know, it's amazing. Every time I make popcorn now, I'm going to say that every kernel is going to experience a rapid disassembly. It's just to sound smart. You know what I mean?
Right? Unscheduled disassembly.
It's scheduled because I'm going to put it in a pan with some oil.
Well, that's true.
It's going to be a scheduled rapid disassembly for each kernel.
I just freaking love that. I
It's
love
awesome. I know, right?
So great. All right. On to the hearings that took place yesterday. One of them was with Scott Bessent. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Scott Bessent.
Let's just call him Scott.
We'll just call him Scott. He is Trump's nominee for Treasury Secretary. And from everything that I saw yesterday, he seems exponentially more qualified than that goblin that is currently in the role. So naturally, he had Democrats that were pestering him and giving him grief because this is what they do during hearings.
Right.
But one of the things that I love that he talked about, because he is a gay man, he's married to a guy that actually looks a lot like him. He was sitting behind him during the whole hearing and along with one of their sons. And he talked about the fact that in the past, because I can't remember the senator who was asking him, like, why are you just now choosing to serve in public service? And his answer was, I've actually tried a couple times, but have not been allowed to because I'm gay. And so one of the things that he specifically said that he appreciated about Trump is that Trump doesn't give a shit if he's gay. My words, not his words. Here's how he said it.
So sitting here today is my third attempt at public service. And I sit here knowing that President Trump chose me because he believes I'm the best candidate, not because of my sexual preference, not because Treasury secretaries with green eyes do better. And I think it is a tribute to President Trump that he looks at people as people.
Well, isn't that something that's interesting? I thought he hated all gay people and he was going to put them in concentration camps. I'm really surprised.
It's so weird.
Very weird. So
this
that
is
little
just
boy,
a decoy.
We're just faking it. So that boy behind him was his son.
I think so, because I can't imagine what other child would be allowed into that situation. You know what I mean?
He was like Alex P. Keaton, that kid.
I know, he's so proper. And he looked
cute.
Amazingly engaged the entire time.
I know.
Wide-eyed, awake. I would have been snoozing at
my gosh.
At that age.
It was like Rachel Duffy. I don't know if you saw, like Sean Duffy did his, I think yesterday he did his hearing, and she had a picture of all of her kids together after. And she was like, I was so grateful because I had the older kids helping to take care of the younger, because they have like 14 bazillion kids. They're the most beautiful family, right? But all the kids were like so well behaved. They did 3 hours of testimony. He did 3 hours of testimony or whatever, of questions and answers. And the kids were all so well behaved. And I thought, gosh, would my kids be that well behaved? I don't know.
I mean, mine would be asleep, like within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, I could be snoozing.
This is the thing. Like when they were younger, I think, I don't know if they would have been able to sit still and listen to that boring stuff. But it's a testament to these families. It's a testament to these people that their kids are just so good during these hearings. So what a precious kid. What a precious husband too.
I know it's like a really nice looking family.
It is, really is.
He also talked about how spending is our problem, and that was a great moment. Also, here it is.
We do not have a revenue problem in the United States of America. We have a spending problem.
So, I mean, that was I'm glad he said that out loud, because so many of the Democrat senators do not get it. They're so hyper-focused on things like climate change. And for some reason, they're worried about what the Treasury Secretary will have to do with climate change. They're worried about him undoing clean energy initiatives. And it was the senator that has a really unfortunate hair part. Wyden is his name. It's just unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate part.
It's bad.
So he was like, can we be assured that you're not going to undo clean energy initiatives or whatever? I can't remember how he asked it, but I loved Scott's answer. Here it is.
As you stated, and to be clear, this is one of the things that got me out from behind my desk and my quiet life in this campaign, was the thought that this spending is out of control. We are spending about 24, 25% of GDP. So as you said, 6.8 to 7% deficit. We have never seen this before when it is not a recession or not a war.
Because we are in an arms race on clean energy with them. Are you going to be on the side of people who want to unravel this?
Senator Wyden, just so we can frame this for everyone in the room, China will build 100 new coal plants this year. There is not a clean energy race. There is an energy race. China will build 10 nuclear plants this year. That is not solar. I am in favor of more nuclear plants. And I would note that the IRA, as scored by the CBO, is wildly out of control in terms of spending on the upside.
I hope I've been seeing like commentary on how this is going to be the new golden era, like a new financial economic golden era. I hope that that's right. Fingers are crossed, legs are crossed, arms are crossed, cross everything, you guys. I just hope that that is the case, because we've got to unleash everything. We've got to make America first. We've got to unleash everything. We've got to drill. We've got to do all the things. It's time. It's like these people have just held us back. They have crippled us.
And they continue to try, which we'll talk about in a little bit too. I mean, Biden in his last days is doing everything possible to ensure that Trump cannot be successful. It's absolutely disgusting. Here's that same senator pestering Scott about tariffs, and that conversation, he also got dressed down, and it was perfect.
These tariffs, you can call it whatever you want in terms of trying to gussy it up. They're going to be paid for by our workers and small businesses. And all through the campaign, we heard they weren't, that foreign countries were going to pay it. I think that's baloney. It's going to be paid for by workers and small businesses. So, your response.
Yes, Senator, I would respectfully disagree. And the history of tariffs and tariff theory, optimal tariff theory, does not support what you're saying. Traditionally, we see that the current, if we were to say use a number that has been thrown around in the press of 10%, then traditionally the currency appreciates by 4%. So the 10% is not passed through. Then we have various elasticities, consumer preferences may change. And finally, foreign manufacturers, especially China, which is trying to export their way out of their current economic malaise, they will continue cutting prices to maintain market share.
Okay. Oh, I saw Bernie.
It's you, Bernie.
I'm asking once again. So, anyways, that guy, this dude, the Scott dude, he should win just based on his hair. He's got great hair.
I know.
Really good hair.
He just looks so distinguished. Very
and he
handsome
knows
fellow.
The guy knows his crap. He's like, he seems, again, one of these people. They're all unflappable. All of these people. Unshakable. Every single one who's been put through all this crap, which I don't remember the other people being put through so much crap. Do you guys remember that? Is it just me? Maybe I just blocked it out. The Democrats.
I mean, there have been some tough hearings for sure for Democrats, but it's not
as tough.
It's actually meaningful. The questions that have been asked have been meaningful and not just Democrats being idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't remember. Maybe I blocked it out. I probably blocked it out Because we've been talking about this stuff for 15 years. I just don't remember it being like this contentious and, you know?
Well, and you were talking earlier, even in this show, about how there's so many people on the left who are mad at true change-making, innovative people like, I mean, I hate to admit it, but Mark Zuckerberg, like Elon, like Bezos, who have really created incredible things and changed the world because of what they do. But Bernie has a problem. You have a problem, Bernie.
Why do you got it though? Horse shorts. You're such a whore.
He's got a problem with them being so rich because if they're that rich, isn't that so oligarchy, you guys? Here is Scott's response to that question.
Last night is we're moving toward an oligarchy. I'm asking you that question. Do you think, forget how they made their money, do you think that when so few people have so much wealth and so much economic and political power that is an oligarchic form of society?
Well, I would note that President Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to two people who I think would qualify for his oligarchs.
All right.
That was perfect.
That's not what I asked you.
Well, and apparently a bunch of Democrat senators walked out of the confirmation hearing because they didn't like him criticizing Biden's weaker sanctions against Russia. So that made them mad.
It hurt their feel-bads.
Did
he hurt the feelings? Because it hurt their Soros's heart. Like they have such a love for Soros that it hurt the feelings of the BFFs of Soros. Like, screw you. They can't take it.
Children.
They really are toddlers. You can't make fun of our daddy Soros. That's mean. That's mean to daddy.
Doug Burgum also had his hearing, and because she is probably projecting, because this is what Democrats do, once again, Mazie Hirono, just like she did with Pam Bondi, decided to ask about whether or not he has sexually assaulted anyone. What is this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome. As part of my responsibilities to ensure the fitness of nominees before any of the committees on which I sit, I asked the following two initial questions. First is, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator, I have not.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
I have not.
Okay. Hawaii. Maisie is drunk. Come get her and take her home.
Come get your girl, Hawaii.
Get your girl. Okay. You know, they have to go through metal detectors to get through to this point. I think that they should have to go through a breathalyzer too.
Ooh,
I think they should. She wouldn't be allowed in. I'm 100% certain she wouldn't be allowed in. Breathalyzers. I mean, if they have to go through a metal detector, because damn, lady, you are drunk.
Oh my God, so drunk.
Have you ever fondled an overweight Hawaiian lady? Ever? Because hey, Doug.
She is out of
control. What is this line of questioning, though? I'm being serious. What is it? Why is
she keeps saying it's her responsibility? Like, I don't know if that means somebody assigned her to ask these required questions. I have no idea, but the fact that it's her asking just is priceless to me.
Doug Burgum should be like, ew. This woman's out of control. She's out of control of her mind and out of control.
And a lot of people were freaking out about this clip on Twitter. And I was like, did you guys not see because we played it, her saying the same thing to Pam Bondi.
Right.
It's just so weird to see her continue to say this.
She is so weird.
Weird.
I still can't believe this woman she's a senator. How does this happen? Hawaii, what are you doing? Get it together.
I know. Also, Biden, there was like some sort of ceremony, like a departure ceremony that occurred yesterday with a bunch of pomp and circumstance that it's apparently, this is just what they do when presidents are leaving office. But the fact that President Biden is winning an award, okay, he's being rewarded for how much better the world is after his presidency than it was before.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to how they describe the reason for the award.
A distinguished public service medal is being awarded to Joseph R. Biden Jr. President Joseph R. Biden Jr. is recognized for distinguished public service as the 46th President of the United States from January 2021 to January 2025. In the face of unparalleled national security challenges, American global leadership under President Biden left both the United States and the Department of Defense far stronger and far better postured for the challenges of the 21st century.
Okay. It's like our kids' elementary schools. They give every kid an award for something. This is what they do now. That's what we're doing now in politics. That's what we're doing in the Democrat Party. You have to give an award for something and make crap up. This is what these people are doing. It's like it's Hollywood. It's like an award show. This is what politics has become. Our founders are spinning in their graves. They're like, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys are
that's right.
idiots.
It's just a lot of self-congratulating.
It is. They're all patting each other on the back. Meanwhile, real people are like, I'm sorry, eggs are like $7, you losers. Like, but nice that you guys can have a big circle jerk. Good for you.
Right. And Lloyd Austin, there was this whole part where Lloyd Austin was pinning whatever this award was onto him. And then Jill is standing there looking adoringly at him.
And we paid for that. We paid for all of this. So
and how much are you
stupid.
helped by it? None. That's exactly right. This is probably in the wrong order, but we talked about the Goblin. We mentioned the Goblin earlier, the current Treasury Secretary. There was some breaking news about her last night. This should make you all feel super, super safe and secure. Listen to this.
Before our show, Bloomberg reporting that Chinese hackers have infiltrated the computers of the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and two of her lieutenants, quote, as part of a broader breach of the agency.
Okay. What was that about us? What was that about us being safe, Joe Biden? What was that about us being safer? And this maybe you want to give that medal back that we got for you. That's right.
That's terrifying.
How does that happen? I thought we were supposed to have like the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, all these like organizations that were supposed to safeguard us against that. Like there's a ton of people that are paid to make sure that that doesn't happen. So why is that happening? Why exactly?
It's a great question.
Who's getting fired today? Who's getting fired? Raise
There's
your
not
hand.
going to be anybody fired.
Oh,
Don't
that's
be
right.
ridiculous.
That's
Don't
right.
be ridiculous.
That's right. They all want raises, right, Dan Crenshaw? They all want
They
raises.
want raises and they want awards because, as we said, this is all about like self-congratulating, much like Jim Acosta was doing after Joe Biden's speech about, the sacredness of the freedom of the press, blah, blah, blah. Jim Acosta could not be more freaking arrogant. This was what he did on his show yesterday.
A moment to talk about something President Biden said during his farewell address. He warned the free press is crumbling in this country. I would add that's only if we, the people, let that happen. Journalists exist to seek the truth, to tell people's stories, to lift up voices that may not be heard otherwise, to shine a light on injustice, and to hold the powerful accountable. We are not the enemy of the people. We are the defenders of the people.
Okay.
Walter Cronkite once said, freedom of the press is not just important to democracy, it is democracy. I want to take a moment to show you something. A woman sent me this sign 8 years ago. She carried it here at a march in Washington. She wrote on the back of the sign, to me and the press here in D.C., you have our support. To Nora, wherever you are, right back at you.
What a douche.
So self-important.
Has anybody checked on Walter Cronkite's like gravesite? Because there's like fingers coming out. It's like Jim Acosta.
You're ruining this for me.
Just stop it. Stop saying my name on your broadcast.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
Well, Glenn Greenwald had the perfect response to that. He retweeted it and he said, whoops, you don't need to see that yet. You need to see this. This nakedly partisan bitch really does think he's the conscience of America. Never seen a more self-important, sanctimonious blowhard in my entire life. And no, I will never get over the fact that he wrote a book bought by dumb liberals where he depicted himself as endangered.
So true. Everything about that is
perfect.
True. It was perfect. You can't top that.
Oh my God, I love that so much. Yesterday, we talked about how the Washington Post did an interview with Dr. Jill Biden, and she finally talked about the rift between her and Nancy Pelosi. And So we mentioned it yesterday, and now the rest of the news media is kind of picking up on that story and asking people about it. And Caitlin Collins had Senator Coons on and was asking him about it. And amazingly, he openly and without any kind of prompting admits that Nancy Pelosi orchestrated Biden's withdrawal from the race. And he just says it. And Caitlin Collins doesn't get like big eyes or follow up on it or say, wait a minute, you're making news here by admitting this out loud, because Democrats have not done that.
Mm-hmm.
She just lets it go. It was an incredible moment. And here it is.
But on Jill Biden and looking at this, she had a quote today to the Washington Post about Nancy Pelosi's role and Biden getting out of the race. And she said, quote, "We were friends for 50 years. Imagining she was using her teacher's voice. She said, quote, "It was disappointing." You know that Jill Biden is very careful with how she uses her words. What did you make of that moment?
Well, it's the first I'm hearing of it, but what I make of it is that she may well have wished that Speaker Pelosi had engaged directly with them rather than orchestrating a campaign to try and get President Biden to step down from the race.
Unreal.
Ultimately, it was the right thing for him to do for his candidacy, for the country, for the party. But I do think there were some hard feelings about how that happened.
And then they have the audacity to preach to people about democracy, you know?
Right.
They lie. They flat out lie to you. They lie to everybody. They lie every single day. They lie. And they don't give a crap about this constitutional republic. They don't care at all.
And is there going to be any accountability for the fact that now it's just openly talked about that there was a coordinated attempt to cover up how bad off he is?
Yeah, and they installed somebody they bypassed the actual process, the democratic process that we're supposed to use, and they installed a candidate. These people are insufferable. They hate America. They hate you. And
it's true. It's true. And I don't know who this guy is. His name is Michael Popek, I guess. I really don't know who he is. And after listening to this clip, I was just like, I don't want to know anything about this guy. But he's also talking about what's happening now with Biden and the strategy to do all of this stuff in these last few weeks to make Trump's first 2 years at least impossible. They're doing things that will be almost impossible to undo. I mean, you hear Trump saying a lot, oh, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to use an executive order for this. But they are purposely doing things to make his job impossible. And that is so freaking un-American. But here he is, again, openly talking about
the reason that you would want to file this suit is the same reason that Joe Biden is continuing to pass laws to try to Trump-proof democracy. The more Joe Biden does in the waning days of his administration through administrative agencies like SEC and stacks it up in front of Donald Trump, the more Donald Trump has to undo. The more Joe Biden does, the more Donald Trump has to undo. And eventually, in that curve of resources, political capital, and time, Donald Trump's going to run short. There's only so much he can do on day 1 or day 100 in his administration. And many of the things that Joe Biden has done, for instance, are Trump-proof. It's going to be very difficult for him to reverse 330 million acres being put into a wilderness preserve so it can't be drilled for oil or gas based on the way that law is written. Very smart. It's going to be very hard for Donald Trump immediately to undo giving people temporary protective status as immigrants. And it's going to be very hard for him to kill lawsuits like the one that was just filed against Musk. It will happen. The new SEC chair will withdraw this, but we want Trump to expend scarce political capital and look the American people in the eye and say, oh, I took that lawsuit away. I gave Musk a free ride, even though he's going to be the head of my Department of Government Efficiency. The show Conflicted Ethics. It helps in our politics to see Donald Trump have to make actual moves on a chessboard, all for the public to see. And that's why these cases being filed even so late, even on the last day or the last minute, are important because of what Donald Trump's going to have to expend in order to undo it. And every time he's doing something to undo something that Joe Biden or the SEC did is one less minute, one less resource that he has to do something forward-looking, to do something to advance one of his policies. That's why you got to continue to build. You want to build a wall of policies and lawsuits and rules and executive orders that Donald Trump has to try to dismantle in the limited time he has. I know it seems like it's interminable. He hasn't even gotten in yet. But I'm telling you, that 4 years is going to go by quickly. The 2 years until the midterms is going to go by even more quickly. He could be lame duck within 18 months if we have our way.
God.
Yeah, but this time is different. I'm going to be positive because this time is different because he is getting the best people in there. And he's doing things like anybody who worked with, like, say, Mike Pence, don't even come near my office. Like, I don't trust anybody this time. I'm going to put in only the best of the best of the brightest of the best, and nobody else need apply. So, and we've seen the best of the best starting to get into these positions. So it's different. We cannot look at like what he did before and think that, I mean, yeah, I guess we can look at it a little bit and be like, he's capable, but I think this time he's going to be like super capable, and he has to be because they're just shitting where they ate, you know?
Well,
They're
and the
just-
problem too is that when it comes to staff, even though like what this guy was talking about, it's not even just lawsuits and all of the policies, it's staff. They have put people in like fireproof positions, Biden people that Trump cannot fire also,
Right.
in agency positions that are toxic. And so it's just, again, they're going to be doing things that Trump is constantly having to chase, or he's got to have somebody looking and chasing and fixing. And I mean, it's going to be exhausting.
And hopefully he'll have people in positions that'll be watching those toxic people, helping him to put those out. So he's not the only one putting him out. And I
Right.
think he's hiring capable people to help put out those fires, and they're just going to be very busy. You know, if Joe Biden had any shred of integrity or self-respect, I think that's what it is. If he had self-respect, he would have turned on the Democrat Party. And he would have been like, you know what? You completely crapped all over me. You betrayed me. You did me so dirty. And my family, you did me dirty. That
Mhm.
I'm going to take revenge. And I'm going to make sure that this guy does a good job. And I'm going to align more, like, I'm at least going to go independent. F you. Because they did him so dirty. And it actually, I would, if I were in his position, which I never would be, but if I were in his position and somebody did me that dirty after 50 years, you're damn straight I would turn on him. I would turn so hard. I mean, I guess we're very different people, but I just can't imagine still being aligned with those people after what they did to him.
Yeah.
And he does. He's just lockstep with them. And that blows my mind. It just shows you how completely weak and pathetic he is. So weak. And his
Oh my
wife
God.
his wife is too, because his wife hates all those people. My God, she wants to get it on with Trump, you know? She's like, she hates all those people, but yet they still stay aligned with the Democrat Party. Gross, you know?
Yeah, it is absolutely gross. We do need to talk about the fires because there was an amazing video that was floating around yesterday, and I'll just give you like the little summary of it right here. 21 days before the Palisades fire broke out, there were LA fire personnel that went to a fire commission meeting with a warning about the budget cuts that Karen Bass enacted. And the video is remarkable because of the quote that you can see on your screen, which says, "The residents of Los Angeles are going to pay the ultimate sacrifice and someone will die." They warned them 21 days in advance. Here's a news report about that.
If we cut one position, if we close one station, if we close one resource, the residents of Los Angeles are going to pay the ultimate sacrifice and someone will die.
Just last month, fire personnel packed an LA Fire Commission meeting, begging the city to rethink the budget.
These cuts came at exactly the wrong time, with calls for services at an all-time high and our firefighters at their breaking point.
We are straining our department's resources beyond the brink, and we cannot continue on this path.
I mean, how do you, there's no, that, I don't know. I don't know how Karen Bass comes back from that.
She bitches about climate change and people who are really into that will believe it. You know what I mean? And like true progressives will be like, oh yeah. You know, the Bill Burrs of the world will back her. You know, it's what a disappointment. I mean, so many people are like, this, it's ridiculous. It's not their fault. You know,
I know.
it's the wind. The
You
wind
can't,
did it.
there is the proof. Like, I don't need,
Right.
they were literally begging for
Mhm.
help and
Right.
resources, and they got nothing. They got
Nothing.
cut. And then Gavin Newsom, because you know he loves to be on camera doing all the motions,
Doing a
right?
shimmy.
Like doing the
shimmying.
motions,
Yeah.
constantly moving. So he did another video where he likes to do this a lot. Like he likes
to give
anyway.
money away. He likes to give other people's money away. What he's doing.
It is similar to that.
Yeah.
But he decided to release a very highly produced video in a message to Mike Johnson about, because he's mad that Mike Johnson had the gall to suggest that there would be conditions placed on any federal aid to his state. And so here's the wildly gesticulating Gavin Newsom in a video message to Mike Johnson.
In California, questioned whether or not we as taxpayers in the largest state in the union should support the people of Louisiana at a time of emergency and need. We never conditioned it. We never talked about putting the full faith and credit of the United States of America with the debt ceiling bill, so we can get tax cuts for billionaires and corporations that don't need it, and then put at risk the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans that happen to live in California.
I will never tire of that ever.
Never, never, ever. God, what a douche this guy is. Shut up.
He really is.
He
really is.
He had time to make that video, that nicely produced video that was choreographed, because you know he practiced in the mirror when he was doing all of the things. He was doing it, you know, with the slick back hair and the, you know, it's like he's like, look, Mom, I'm a Supreme. Woo! That's what
I want him to do this next.
Totally. Such a douche, this guy. He had time to do that, but he doesn't have time to actually govern.
Which is exactly what Mike Johnson said back on X, saying instead of making highly produced clapback videos with social media influencers, you should get to work helping Californians.
Yeah.
You're the leader of a state in crisis, and you should finally start acting like it.
Yeah. Somebody said something about his new $9 million home. There's a guy on I don't know, it was on TikTok or Instagram or one of them, that broke down exactly how much it costs him a month to pay for that home. It's something like $55,000 a month or something, what it comes down to.
Oh my God.
There's no way on God's green earth that what he makes as a governor will pay for, like, these people are just such con artists with all the insider trading and all this stuff, that there's just no way on a public servant's salary that he could afford that home.
Wait, I thought he was married to some like super rich lady.
Maybe.
Is he not?
I don't know. But like him alone, there's just no way. There's no way that he could. I don't know what she makes. Is she super rich?
I don't know. I thought she came from a bunch of money. So they probably just bought it. There's like no mortgage on that house.
Maybe she bought it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Can you imagine marrying him?
Oh my God.
Kimberly Guilfoyle was married to him, you guys.
I mean, to be fair, that is a well-matched couple. And take that how you will. I mean,
on the bearskin rug.
The bearskin rug.
The bearskin rug. You guys remember that picture? We're gonna have to resurrect that at some point.
I mean, it's anyway. Okay, so he also decided to come out with a super, super helpful executive order, you guys, to help the people that are suffering. He has decided benevolently that they don't have to worry about their property tax till 2026. Here he is talking about it.
That's nice.
I mean, this is for real.
So just signed an executive order to address some of the anxiety people have that have lost their home around paying property taxes. This executive order will suspend interest and penalties through April of 2026, in addition to extending the deadline for state taxes to October later this year.
No, that's such a nice, he's so nice. Thanks, Gavin.
Like, you may not even have a home or any property to speak of, but you will not have to pay taxes on that.
Yeah, just for a couple months. You get a couple months off of paying the ridiculous taxes that are California taxes. Congratulations, suckers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you've probably seen video or photos of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry going and like, ostensibly they're volunteering to help dole out supplies and food to people, but really they're just trying to be on camera as often as possible because they don't really care about their privacy. You know what I mean? That's a lie. They don't care about their privacy. And so there's other celebrities.
I hate that word so much.
I know, but that's how they say it.
Privacy. Yeah.
So Kelly Osbourne, who I did not recognize at all, and honestly still don't. Like if somebody said that's somebody pretending to be a different version of Kelly Osbourne, I would buy it because I don't see this. I don't recognize Kelly Osbourne at all. She, though, is making the point that no one gives a shit if celebrities show up to this, and could they please stop? I think she is spot on here.
I have a question. Is it just me being my normal overthinking, cynical self? Or is it really disturbing to see all of these celebrities using other people's pain and suffering as a photo op?
Yes.
To say, look, I'm helping, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't believe you help so that you can get attention for helping. I believe you just help because you want to. I'm so confused. I think it's so wrong. No one asked you to come out and give hugs.
It's true. She's absolutely right. Yeah, that's Ozempic, you know. That's what that is, Mock. Just in case you
But
didn't
it's
recognize
bad.
that.
Like
Yeah.
because when I first saw that, I was like, where is the rest of her?
Yeah.
Where
yeah,
did she
she's-
go?
Yeah, she's becoming like her mom. She's a cute girl though. I
mean,
like
she's
the
super
Osbournes.
cute.
I've always
You
liked the
can't not.
Osbournes. I can't not like them. You know
You
what I
can't.
mean? Ozzy. He's just that guy's still alive. He's still alive, you guys. That is a testament to I don't know what. Like what do we thank for that? I don't even know. The guy's still kicking. He's still it's
That's
remarkable.
amazing.
It's
like
it
Keith
is.
Richards.
It defies all logic that the guy is still here with us.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, but listen, but back to Harry and Meghan now. Like these are the people that Joy Behar should be bitching at. They have
Exactly.
gazillions of dollars. Did they have any homeless people or any illegal immigrants in their gigantic Montecito mansion? Do they? I ask you. The answer is no.
Moving on to someone great. So Mel Gibson, as you know, lost his home. We showed that clip yesterday from Mar-a-Lago where he was telling Russell Brand, my house is burning down, like in the moment that he was finding out. And he was on, what's that guy's name? He's always on Laura Ingram's show. I find him to be extraordinarily creepy. I don't know why. His last name is Arroyo, but I don't know his first name.
I feel like he should be in the Addams Family.
Yeah, I don't know what it is because I'm sure he's lovely. I don't know why I get such a visceral, creeped out
I'm a little
reaction
creeped
to him.
up. I am too. Yeah.
But I do. I'm sorry to say, but he had Mel Gibson on to talk about his house burning down and how he's choosing to look at it. And I thought this was just
lovely,
this is just so perfect Mel Gibson stuff right here.
I was struck this week. You did an interview and you said in passing, you see this loss of your home as a purification. How so?
Well, it was an odd mixture of sadness and kind of a weird realization and blessing, I think, because I thought, they're just things. I mean, yeah, I'm going to miss some stuff. There was valuable stuff. There was personal stuff that just breaks my heart, But, I feel like I'm being stripped down and prepared for something else. Now that's maybe very personal, but I feel like the Almighty's preparing me to do something big.
Well, I have to say, when I heard that, I thought, I wonder if this is, or if you're regarding this as a spiritual preparation for the resurrection movie you're about to embark on.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it. It's like, hey, look, God gives, God takes. We come in with nothing. That's the same way we go out, And here's the deal. You'll always be okay. If you seek first the kingdom of God, you'll always be okay. You'll get what you need.
Did you see the cut on his hand?
I missed
on Mel
the cut.
Gibson's hand. He's probably like chopping wood or something in his front, like somewhere, and like just like gashed his hand, and he just like did the interview. You know what I mean? I freaking love him. I don't care. If people think Mel Gibson is weird, I don't care. I just will always love him. Always. Freedom! I will always think he's hot. I will always love him. It's just, he's one of my favorites. Always.
Yeah, that's good people right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing related to the fire disasters in general, that FEMA director, that she's not terribly old. She's probably what, like in her late 30s, the FEMA director, maybe 40s, young. She got a dressing down in a hearing yesterday. And the specific point, and I think his name is Molinaro. I could be wrong. You'll see it on his little name placard, but he was questioning her on the fact that so many illegals get FEMA aid and other types of American paid for assistance when they face disasters, and they get it ahead of American citizens. And does she not see how ridiculous that is? As you might imagine, she does not see how ridiculous it is, but he did a bang up job trying to make her understand.
The absurdity that American citizens are getting their $750 and then, yes, struggling through a very complicated process to meet the thresholds necessary to get the aid they need to have housing, food, and shelter, while your agency is contracting with not-for-profits to easily hand out access to those who are here, placed here illegally. Do you see the absurdity?
Congressman, our mission is to support people, help people before, during, and after disasters. And
do you think that there is, ma'am, do you think in responding to an emergency, the priority of government ought to be to ensure that American citizens are triaged and that the services of FEMA are focused on responding to them and their service programs first?
I absolutely believe that the services that FEMA provides should be supporting the people that have been impacted by disasters.
Should there be equity in that distribution and response? Should there be fairness in that response?
We should make sure that all people have access to our programs and that we remove
Fair enough.
the barriers.
So this is my time and I get 2 minutes to do it. So in fairness, do you not see the inequity in those placed here illegally having taxpayers support a plane ticket, a house, a hotel, food, cell phones, access to health care? Do you not see the inequity that they have access immediately? I want us to be a welcoming nation, but if we cannot respond to those who are living in emergencies, then we do not have the right to claim that we are the Federal Emergency Management Administration. Do you not see the inequity?
Congress directed.
No, Congress established law. You have to prioritize, triage, and decide. During COVID, there were federal agencies and local governments who were responsible for providing lots of services. We said, in this emergency, you're not going to do that. We told federal employees, get back out onto the ground because you've got to respond to a public health pandemic, and most of them were never involved in public health response. You established the priority. Why can you not say today that the priority ought to have been to make sure that American citizens were getting first response, adequate response, and not distracted response? Why can you not say that?
Our priority is the American people, and
It's not. Why is this so hard? This is common sense.
We were asking earlier about, does this ever happen? Like, do Republicans ever question, witnesses this way? They do, but they always make more sense when they do it.
This should be common sense to everybody. Like, it shouldn't just be common sense to Republicans. This should be like, until everything is perfect here in the United States, we shouldn't give any of our money to anybody else. F everybody else. Like, everybody else can get effed as far as I'm concerned. Right now we're in shambles. There should be no roads that are in shambles right now. There should be no hungry people. There should be no homeless vets. There should be no homeless kids. There should be none of that. Until that is all taken care of, then maybe we can consider giving money to like Ukraine or
you put your mask on first before you help others.
Why is this hard to understand? It's like we're so like, oh, let's give money to all these people because we want to be friends with. I don't give a flying F about anybody except for my family first. Americans are my family. We should be thinking about the family. We take care of the family. And then when everything is perfect in our house, then we can be like, all right, maybe we can budget to help other people. But we are literally like pissing away our money on everybody else. And our house is, it's like ready for demolition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Why is it so hard to understand?
It's not hard for Trump to understand, though, because he talks about that a lot. Thank God. And
Thank
so
God.
I think
Yeah.
we're gonna, we're gonna hear a clip from him in just a moment about what to expect from him on Monday. And actually, let's talk about Monday, because the inauguration is happening on Monday. And Nora O'Donnell. Well, first of all, before we even get to the inauguration, just one quick note about Nora O'Donnell, because she and that Margaret Brennan chick did this report about Mike Turner getting kicked off a House committee. And you'll hear them overreacting to that right here.
News on a big shakeup on Capitol Hill, the Speaker of the House firing the Republican chair of the House Intel Committee. Why? What does this mean?
Exactly. It is extraordinary as well. Mike Turner is known for being bipartisan as chair in his oversight of the intelligence community. I spoke with him. He told me this afternoon, Speaker Johnson called him into his office and said, "You're fired. There are concerns from Mar-a-Lago." In other words, Donald Trump, the president-elect, told Mike Johnson to fire the man overseeing the intelligence community who has access to some of the nation's greatest secrets. Now, there was no explanation as to why, but big picture here, Nora, this is not how government's supposed to work. Congress is supposed to be independent. Jim Himes, his Democratic counterpart on intelligence, said this sends a chill up his spine, and he thinks Turner was fired because he didn't bend the knee.
Lots to come on that. Great reporting.
Great reporting.
They are so scared because there's a new sheriff in town and shit's about to hit the fan. And I'm so here for it. I
would like to know more details, because apparently he's not even no longer the chair of the committee. He's out of the committee. Like, he's completely off that committee altogether. So I would like to know more.
I'm not mad about it, though. I'm not mad. I'm not mad if like a ton of people get fired. I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. There are so many people in government that just have no business being in government at this point. Has it been working well for us? Because I mean, have they done anything for you lately? Because they've not done anything for me. I don't know about you guys. All I know is that I get taxed to high hell every single year. That's all I know. That's literally all my government has done is take my money. That's all they've done. I got roads out here that look like crap. My neighborhood's not benefiting. I don't know about you guys. Around me, I don't benefit. So
shakeups are fine.
Shakeups, I'm totally okay with this. I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right. So now to the inauguration, because Nora O'Donnell also did sort of a tour of the platform where all the stuff is happening, where all the VIPs are going to sit. And it's kind of interesting to get the behind the scenes sneak peek. But at the same time, when I watched this, even though I was very interested in watching it and like really liked to see all the stuff, I was like, everybody can see this. And that means bad actors can see like exactly how everything is set up. And that means they can plan horrible things. This is where my mind goes. Even though this should have just been like a fluffy, like neat thing about what inauguration looks like from different vantage points.
Right.
Here's the report.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Look at how incredibly majestic this is. Your president-elect, this is what you see right across the Washington Monument, and walk right down here. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this is what you would call VIP seating. So, lawmakers, Supreme Court justices, and also Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos reportedly sitting together here on the inaugural platform.
Mad about it?
Wow. So right here is where the president-elect will take the oath of office, sworn in by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And then there will be a podium like right here. So I'm actually like standing where the president stands, and right here looks out on this incredible view, the Washington Mall, to give his inaugural address. And as you can see, there are the pool cameras set up right in the middle. That's the shot that you see when you watch the President of the United States deliver the inaugural address. Now,
so were you freaked out too?
A little freaked out. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm only freaked out because I'm so worried about his safety.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
like
I'm
just showing all that
Yeah,
detail.
I'm watching it. Like I was watching it and I was like, are there Where's Secret Service going to be? Do we have that covered? Like, it's so out in the open. Like, is there anything bulletproof out there? Like, I'm just worried about him. I'm just worried about his safety because there are so many freaking lunatics.
That's the thing. And so this next video will make you feel a little bit better because it does talk about some of the preparations from a security standpoint. In fact, they're like, there's this very special helicopter. There's only like 2 of them in the whole world, which can go really, really low to scout out radiation and potential nuclear materials. And so they're doing that ahead of inauguration. Here's the video about that.
Only 150 feet in the air, pilots dodge buildings.
And tower on your left side.
Flying in a grid over the National Mall to scan for radiological or nuclear irregularities, threats like dirty bombs.
So you're trying to create a blueprint of what the radiation in Washington, D.C. looks like ahead of the inauguration. Correct.
Department of Energy scientist Jacqueline Brandon calls this low-flying helicopter one of just 2 of its kind, her office.
If we find a radiological irregularity, we'll investigate it even further.
Highly sensitive technology sets off alarms in the air.
That's an alarm. That is an alarm. It's a slight variation in our spectra is what it's saying.
On the ground, a mission led and meticulously rehearsed by the U.S. Secret Service at their training facility in Maryland. Agents role-playing worst-case scenarios.
Can we try a vehicle having a flat tire? Can we try someone having a heart attack? These are all the things we want to mentally prepare for because we have an immediate action for all those things.
Michael Thomas is the coordinator for the big day.
The amount of fencing and the amount of personnel that we bring in for this inauguration eclipses all other inaugurations that we have.
About 25,000 law enforcement and military personnel will safeguard the inauguration, including 7,800 National Guard authorized to protect the nation's capital and its 250,000 ticketed guests. Throughout the city, a ring of steel, 30 miles of anti-scale fencing. And along the icy Potomac, more than 25 Coast Guard vessels lined up.
Ready to deploy.
Ready to deploy.
Captain Patrick Burkett says teams are now prepping frozen waterways for patrol after a recent storm.
That put a lot of strain and stress on our resources and our personnel, and everyone knew that January was going to be a busy month.
Dubbed a national special security event demanding the highest level of federal protection, the inauguration comes just days after 2 others, January 6th electoral count and former President Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Okay.
Wild, right?
It is wild.
That's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, I just hope the Secret Service is like not a bunch of women that are 5'2", you know?
I know, right? I mean, no offense to women that are 5'2".
No, I mean, you're a woman that's 5'2", and I love you.
I'm
but
5'3".
Okay, I'm sorry. You're a woman that's 5'3", and I love you, but I don't want you protecting the president.
No, I also would not. I would be terrible at that.
Right.
All right. One last thing before we get to your DD, because there's a DD today, you guys.
Oh, I forgot what it is. What is my DD?
Oh, the cutest about the old people and the kids.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I'm sorry. I've slept since then. Okay. Not much, but I slept a little. Yeah, go ahead.
So Donald Trump called into Dan Bongino's show talking about the inauguration, and he says that we are going to be very, very happy with some announcements that are coming out. Here he is.
Going to be very, very happy on Monday, and your audience, which is very large, by the way, congratulations. You have a great success. But your very large audience is going to be very happy with the things I'm going to be announcing on Monday.
Wow. We're all looking forward to it. Mr. President, you have us tantalized here. We appreciate it. Thanks for your time, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, I wonder what that is.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like some of the executive orders or
yeah,
I don't know.
When's he going to come on our show?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's not far-fetched. I think he would find us delightful.
I think he would find us delightful, but like we do not have those connections.
We don't. You guys should tweet the president and tell him that he needs to come on our show. You know what? He needs more estrogen in his life. He doesn't come on enough shows where there's estrogen, and I think that we would fit that bill. I think he would find you guys delightful. He would find us delightful. It would be a fun time, and it would be a nice deviation from all the seriousness. Right?
I mean, we would have a good time.
Yeah.
For sure.
He could play.
I forgot that I have one more clip before DD. And that is because it'd been forever since I'd even heard of or thought about or seen anything of Paul Ryan. Do you guys remember Paul Ryan?
Oh my gosh.
I
It's
know.
been forever since we've talked about Paul Ryan.
Forever. And
Yes.
he was on the Squawk Box and
he was not.
He was. And
Was he doing a
got
workout?
he got completely ripped to shreds by Jim Carrey. And it was such a thing of beauty. You guys will love this.
Calling for unity. I am calling for unity. Well, that's nice.
my-
Would have been nice before the election. He won. Look, he won. The other thing I thought was funny that you said was when you said, hey, look, I want Trump to succeed. You know who that sounds like? It sounds like a Democrat. It sounds like a Democrat saying,
Well,
you know what?
Democrats sound like that.
Well, of course you want Trump to succeed. You're a Republican.
Hey, look, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm a free market, limited
Really?
government.
But you know what I'm saying?
constitutional-
That's who I hear
Yeah, but my
saying
brand of
things.
conservatism doesn't always overlap with Trump populism.
I understand, but it was binary. But you know we argued about that.
I know we
It was
argued. On and off the
binary
camera.
all along. It was always binary. And a vote not for Trump was a vote for Kamala Harris. Can you
Here's the point.
imagine?
I know
Can
you want to get back at
imagine?
this.
Huh?
Here's the
Remember when he used to remember when he used to work out and
Oh yeah,
do
he was like
those-
P90X guy.
Yeah, he was like the P90X dude. And he used to be like, look at my abs.
I mean, he probably still works out. It's not like he looks bad.
Maybe. Yeah, what is he doing now? What is he doing? What is he
I have
doing?
no, he's probably lawyering or whatever it is that he
Lawyering.
did before.
He's lawyering. Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't even know if he's a lawyer, honestly. I could be completely wrong about that.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, I just thought you would enjoy it.
That was fun. That was super fun.
All right. Now you
All
please
right.
introduce your DD.
All right, you guys. I saw this yesterday. I think it's either in the UK or Canada. I think it's probably in the UK because of their accent. But I saw this yesterday. I feel like if I need to figure out a way where we can make this happen in the United States because I need this to happen. I think because I would either live in one of these places or I would visit frequently, but it's a place where people can retire and there are toddlers and there are people of I just think it's a wonderful idea and I love it so much. And you guys need to see this clip.
Ian Wheeldon spends every day with toddlers.
Fantastic. I call it my Garden of Eden.
The 84-year-old lives in an integrated care home under the same roof as a kindergarten.
There's children, there's old people, and there's poorly people all together.
They help each other, eat together, play together. Some residents spend hours on end here. Others drop in occasionally.
Once a week we come down. It's nice, isn't it? They all seem to enjoy it.
Play with my friends to make them be happy.
It makes the older residents, lovingly called grandfriends, happy too.
Yeah, I like it.
I love that.
Isn't that the sweetest thing? I would have loved it because, Gwen went to daycare. I would have loved it if she had grandfriends at her daycare.
Oh my God. Why is this not a thing everywhere, all over?
I think it keeps people young. I think it keeps them healthy. It keeps their mind sharp. I think this would be, why don't we do this in America?
No, it's such a brilliant idea.
It is brilliant. It's like you add a couple dogs in there and we've got the
Oh
perfect
my God.
combination. Like everything is perfect. I would do this. It's just kids and old people and dogs together. You guys, we need to make this happen. I don't know how to do it, but I feel like I can manifest this and it needs to happen everywhere in every state.
Yes, I mean, because there's no downside. Why would you not have daycares and care homes in the same under the same roof? This is brilliant.
It is brilliant. It's wonderful. I love there's nothing bad about this. Everything wonderful about it. I love it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, it's time for some My Pillow talks. And the first one, again, it's not like your typical talk, but I just thought this girl was so funny. So this is a single gal who clearly wants to be wifed up, as the kids say today. And watching her realize why she may not be wifed up yet is just adorable because she's having some self-awareness, which she has clearly lacked for a long time. And it's funny.
Came to the realization why I'm single. every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive. Okay, this is not supposed to be offensive, but I see their wives and they just look like so like, you know, like not like this, just like, you know, like I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up. And I just come to this realization today. See? Or maybe it's because all of them see me eat sushi after I get out of the grocery store in my car with my bare fingers and drink sweet tea.
So she's so starting to realize that maybe she looks crazy.
Maybe she's the problem.
God bless her.
Maybe
I hope she gets wifed up.
Listen, I feel like there's a lot of guys out there that are attracted to crazy.
Oh yeah. I just don't know that they're attracted to marry crazy.
I've seen a lot of guys marry crazy. It's usually like that's their starter wife. Just putting that out there.
Okay. Well, so maybe she would be a starter wife. She just wants to be wifed up.
You'd be a great starter wife.
Speaking of getting wifed up, this had music in the background, so I just muted it. But it's at, you know how they have those kiss cams at a lot of sporting events? So this woman was super excited to be on kiss cam and she was super participating. Didn't realize right away that her boyfriend had set it up to propose. And so the kiss cam, when she would look at it, it said on there, you know, whatever her name is, will you marry me? And she didn't see that. And so she's just like dancing and having the best time ever. And finally her boyfriend is like, look, and she's like, no, I know we're on kiss cam. I get it. And then when she realizes what's happening, she is the most excited bride-to-be I have ever seen, ever. It's absolutely adorable. So there's kissing. She's like, woo!
I'm on kiss cam, woo!
She's dancing.
She's like, oh yeah, kiss cam. I'm dancing. It's great. Look at me. And they're like, no.
He's like, can you just look?
Can you just read it? Come on, Linda. Oh my God. So cute. This is so you. That is
I know,
so
right?
what you would do.
If I had a working knee, I would be jumping all over the place.
That's so cute.
Look at how excited. She cannot take it.
That is adorable.
I love
So
them.
cute. They are precious.
Love them. Love.
So cute.
Okay, now it's time for animals, as always, because it's Friday. Hello. Of course, we're going to have animals. And the first one is just a baby giraffe being carried by a woman into an area, maybe to weigh it. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances of why this woman is carrying a baby giraffe, but the fact that his legs are just so dangly while he's being carried, I don't know why I love this so much, but I do.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it looks like to carry a Great Dane, you guys. It's exactly the same.
Isn't he sweet?
Exactly the same.
I love that so much.
Very sweet.
Also, if you have wondered your entire life what skunks sound like, I am pleased to bring you this video and to let you know that they sound like Muppets. And it's basically the cutest thing ever. And look at how they all just like run up to like someone together.
In formation. They're so cute.
Right? They're so cute. You're going to hear them make their sound in a minute.
They're adorable. I'd be so afraid that they would spray me.
I know. That's why I think this person is staying completely still. And then they're like, okay, bye.
All right, see you, bye. Because it's a mama and her babies. I'd be super afraid of the spray.
I know.
That guy was brave.
But did you hear how cute?
Yes.
They were so cute.
Very, very cute.
And speaking of cute raccoons, you guys, there is no cuter raccoon than this little raccoon dressed in PJs who's sitting in a little chair waiting to be fed, and he rubs his little hands together.
You're all about the hands.
Little hands
The
together,
raccoon
you
hands.
guys.
Oh my gosh. Mock. He's wearing a vest.
I know. Tell me you've never. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is the
Guys,
cutest thing ever.
he has a vest on.
Oh my God. So freaking cute.
You need a raccoon.
I really do. I really, really do.
You do. You need a raccoon.
And then lastly, my husband sent me this one. And it's of, I guess some guys came across a baby deer and one of them picks up this deer and starts petting it, like rubbing the belly. And then I guess that was enough for this deer to imprint on the guy. Could not put it down without the baby deer losing its shit. Behold.
We found this baby deer and we're moving it out of the way so it doesn't get smashed by a tree. We started rubbing its belly, and now when we go to put it down, it freaks out until we start rubbing its belly again. Completely calm.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
Looks like that's your deer, buddy.
What is wrong with you, dude?
That is your deer.
I gotta sit you down. It does not want to go.
That's hot. I'm not going to lie. That's actually kind of hot. Hot construction dude with that baby deer.
We have spoiled.
Who's with me, ladies?
Look at how content.
The deer does not want to be put down.
Yeah, you're going to have to take that deer home.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
Super cute and hot.
Cute.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my gosh. All right. A thank you to share from yesterday from the ball pit crew. This is about you. You're going to love this.
Oh, really? What'd I do?
Where is it? There it is. Daisy, I know you're married, but I just want to say there's something kind of hot about a lady who isn't afraid to sling F-bombs like a B-52 over Hanoi.
In my defense, I was reading, but I mean, it's not like I've never said that word before.
Yeah, I feel like that's a word that comes easily to both of us.
just a word. That's all it is.
Over on Locals, Audrey Krause 5 says, last time we thankfully had to see chin balls, and thanks for that visual, chicks. Happy Friday. Osuki says 3 days, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Yes.
And also she says, I didn't feel good when she said the shot, referring to Nora O'Donnell saying, this is the shot that you see.
That's right. I didn't catch that. Yeah.
I didn't like that either. All right. Now you.
Okay, we've got some Samantha Capehart. Monday will be an amazing day in DC. I'll try to send an update while I'm at the inauguration. Stay warm, go Buckeyes, and God bless. Gosh, please do. Please do give us like a blow by blow. Aaron Powers, my non-Robbie Williams's loving eyes want to see that movie too. Maybe I'll also go this weekend. Consider this my contribution to your popcorn fund. Take my money. So sweet.
See it, because then if you don't love him, you can also give a review, and then like Daisy will believe you. You know, like you're not going to believe me, but I'm
never going to believe her. I will never believe Mock. She cannot be non-biased in this review. She can't. MJ Homestead, living our dream. Shout out to my big sister, Terry. Wishing you a very happy birthday tomorrow. May this year be the best one yet. You deserve it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Seth McMillan, wheels up, inauguration 2025. Make America great again. Headed to DC. Gonna have to catch the rest of the show out of my pocket when we get to DC. Yep.
Neat. So many people are going.
I just love it. That's so great. Marcus Drake. Someone on X said they hope there are at least 3 undiscovered tribes who saw the ship explode and have created a new religion around it. Andrea Viola. Chicks, pop your popcorn in bacon grease. You're welcome. Huh. I usually use olive oil to pop my popcorn. That's what I do. But bacon grease sounds awesome. Ina Richards, proud of Scott Bessent from South Carolina.
Yeah, and apparently I don't know if this is true, but I saw on Twitter that he and his husband, until just recently, live in the Pink Palace mansion on like the main street of downtown South Carolina. You know, like where all those colored mansions are?
I don't.
They live in the giant pink one, and they just listed it, and it's already under contract for $22.5 million.
Oh my God.
It is a pink explosion of house.
What does he do? It's pink. I mean, that makes sense for a gay man, but yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Teresa Raimundo, it's my nature to chug a bottle of wine, slur my words, and lambaste you useless plebes. Get me some Doritos. Take my money, you crazy chicks. Are you talking about Maisie? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe not. Andrea Viola. Maisie is crafting a narrative that GOP are SAers or sexual
sexual abusers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's like, stop it. Nancy King, when Maisie asked the sexual harassment question, I would love a nominee to say, that would be a question for my wife.
If there really is some formality where that question needs to be asked of any appointee or nominee, then freaking have them fill out a questionnaire.
I was
you know
just
what I
gonna
mean?
say, put it on a form.
Right. This is so stupid.
Yeah, it is really stupid. Florida Medicare broker, 3 more days. That's right.
Yep.
Jordan Fowler, chicks, I lost my sweet Ellie girl the same day that Mock lost her sweet Ella dog. I am broken and still miss her, but I'm going to pick up a new sweet girl this weekend. Wish us luck.
That is so exciting. I would do the same
Jordan.
thing. If I could walk, I would totally be getting another dog. But right now, that's the excuse that my husband is saying. You can't get a new dog because you can't even
Until
walk the
you
one
can
we
walk.
have.
Right. But once
Which
you get
makes-
into walking form, you're going to be getting another dog. I just feel
Mhm.
it. Judy Flackney, there is a daycare at our nursing home. The residents are the caregivers. That part is built like a castle. So it is really like a fantasy land. I love this so
God, I
much. There
love
needs to be
that.
more of this. I love it. Jose Rodriguez, TGIF from Texas. Daisy, you need a giraffe. I already have 2 that live in my house. Looking forward to inauguration 2025. Take this wad. Thank you, Jose. You guys bring it in. Yes, there will be a show on Monday. And you guys, just some programming stuff. Not that we'll remind you next week, but next Wednesday, I will not be doing the show. Mock will be by herself. Well, she won't be by herself. She'll be with Chad.
I hope so.
Wednesday.
Has he responded? I don't know if he's even said yes yet.
I think so. I think Chad's gonna be doing the show with her next Wednesday because my husband is having surgery. He's having spinal fusion-y things done. So
Yeah.
I will be out on Wednesday, which kind of sucks because next week is a really busy week, but it's, you know, how when you get surgery scheduled, you take the time. So
Yeah.
we're going to be doing that. So I'll be gone on Wednesday, but that's it. So that's the only
No,
thing.
it's not it because Thursday there's going to be a
that's right.
later show.
That's right.
Friday I might be doing a show with Chad. We don't know. The later part of next week is
Right.
kind of screwy.
It's a little screwy. I mean, I'll still be there for part of the end of the next week, but we're probably going to be doing some later shows so we can do them together because I am going to be a single mom, basically having to drive my kid everywhere, and I just can't do early morning shows in the later part of the week because I've got to drive a kid to school, and I can't do that and do this at 4 or 5 in the morning. I can't. So anyway, we'll figure that out. We'll talk to you guys about that next week. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you still have early morning shows. No worries. Okay.
Yes, even with the holiday on Monday.
Yes.
People were asking for flaps because it is Friday.
You know what? I would give you flaps, but they were criminals this morning. I had to chase them down in the pasture, like in the dark before we got on. So I'm a little mad at them right now. So they're not going to do flaps today because I've already. There you go. There are your flaps. You guys have no idea what I went through with them this morning, chasing them in the dark between cows. And it was a nightmare this morning. So no flaps today, but maybe next week you'll see some flaps. I'm sorry. I'm mad at them. Anyways, you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.